Hey guys, what's up? So I'm reposting this video. I took this down a while back. Why? I don't know, but I took this video down, but I'm reposting it for you right now. How to move to LA with no money. This is something I did. It was over 5 years ago that I did this. I made the video probably a little bit over a year and a half ago, about a year ago. But I want to put this back to inspire. I was just having a day where I was reminiscing. I was like, you know what? Maybe this can really inspire some people to go after their dreams, to do something, to step outside of their comfort zone. So I'm reposting this video back to help you out. And hopefully this gives you lots of value. This inspires you to, whether it's Los Angeles or whether it's another country, another state, whether it's moving to a new job, maybe it's, maybe venturing into a new relationship, whatever it may be, just to inspire you to step outside your comfort zone. Because if you don't change, nothing's going to change. So guys, hope you enjoy this quick snippet video, just kind of a precursor. This was in my small studio apartment off 5th and Main Street. I was staying at the Roslyn. I had to think about it. It's been a while. I was staying at the Roslyn at that time. Downtown may have changed a little bit, but it's just kind of a brief synopsis of my journey that I had over there, and it was a great experience, and I've definitely used that to transition. If you ask where I'm at right now I'm in one of my houses here in Texas, and I'll be moving again pretty soon. I've been working in the industry down here, doing some commercial work, some TV work as well. So thank you guys so much for the last video. I received so much love from you guys, and I really, really appreciate it. And that was a pivotal point in my life. So enough of this talk. Here's the video, guys, and I will talk to you later. See you soon. And also I have some links below of my blog if you want to follow me on my journey. More value, more tips, more advice on, just becoming your best version in life and helping inspiring people. So enough of that. Here we go, guys. See ya. So you want to move to Los Angeles. All right. You and everybody else. They say over 100,000 people a year move to Los Angeles, move to Hollywood, city of bright lights, going after their dream. And like less than 10%, if that stay, they end up moving back. So how are you going to be the difference? What makes you so different? Well, we'll see. This video is going to tell you exactly how I moved to Los Angeles 4 years ago, and I'm still here living in my studio apartment in downtown LA, which is like a mini New York. And I will show you an outside view right now. It's outside my apartment, so you can see how you can do the same. And I came here with barely anything. After I bought my ticket, I had about $500. No place to stay, no friends, no job, no nothing. How you can do the same thing too. And I'm absolutely serious about this. If you're watching this video, I guarantee this isn't the first video you've watched. And if it is, that's awesome. I got you first so you can stop. Gonna go check out all the other crap out there. Alright, it's telling you got to have 20 things in a row. It's telling you have to have $10,000 in your savings. How you need to have, if you're an artist, you need to have an agent. Or you got to have all these connections. Or you have to have a place to stay. Or all these things. All those are excuses, guys. I'm going to be honest with you. We're going to get straight to the point here. It's nice if you have those things. Don't get me wrong. It would have been nice if I had them. But what if you don't? What if you're like me? What if you didn't have any friends? Or you thought you had friends who lived out here, and then you hit them up, and they're like, oh, man, I'm sorry. I don't really have room. Even if I asked to stay on their couch for like 4 days. Or, you know what, man? They just don't return your calls. Or you mess with them, and they just don't message you. All right? So what are you going to do? So what are you going to do? Okay, let me tell you. 4 years ago, I made a decision. I got out of acting school, and I also had a degree in, I had a degree in business. I went to Texas State University in San Marcos. I love it. Go Bobcats. I love my university. But I lived in the Dallas area for a little bit. Did a little work there. Lucky enough to book a national commercial there, which was awesome, because I was really going to quit and say, forget this stuff. I ended up booking a commercial, which was great. Okay? It really kept the dream alive, like fanned the flame a little bit. And I used a lot of that money, honestly, to pay off some credit card debt. That's what I did. But I made a decision. I was like, either I'm moving to New York. I was like, either I'm going to do some traveling around the world, focus on acting, and go to New York or LA. All right? So I said New York. I was like, I do love the vibe of New York. It's cool. But I was like, man, it's cold. And to do film and movies and commercial. New York is more like Broadway, theater, which I do love. I love it. But I want to do that. So I put New York to the side. I was like, LA, how do I do it? So I started looking voraciously, man. I just started getting on all these sites, looking at all these blogging platforms, all these forums and all this. You need to have $10,000 saved up. You need to have a place to stay. You need to have at least 3 months of living expenses. You need to be prepared to already have your headshots. You need to have an agent. You need to have all these credits built up before you come out here. All this stuff. And I'm looking at myself like, yo, I'm grateful enough. Yeah, I booked a national commercial. I don't have all the experience. I don't have an agent. I don't have any friends to hang out with there. I don't have a job. All these things, what I don't have. So, what set in? The one thing that plagues most people on this planet, fear, false evidence appearing real. So how do you get rid of fear? How do you get rid of fear? And I read this in a book the other day. Action. Action cures fear. When you're afraid to talk to somebody, you got this girl you want to talk to, and it literally hits you, you need to talk to her immediately. Because if not, the longer you wait, the longer you postpone it, more likelihood that you're not going to talk to her. The same thing. You want to move to Los Angeles? You want to do it? Move to Los Angeles. And this video is going to empower you and inspire you to do that if you choose so. Alright? If that's what you want to do. Okay? So how did I do it? How did I do it? And it wasn't how. They always say it's not how, it's why. Why? Well, at that time I was staying in my parents' house and I was on the couch. And I never forget, I was sitting there on the couch with the blanket over my back. I was on the laptop. It was a brown wooden table and had the big screen to my right. And prior to that, I think it was that day or the day before, me and my mother got in a big argument about something. And it just hit me. It's just like, yo, I'm a grown man living in my parents' house. What in the world is this coming to? And that's probably a lot of you if you're watching this video. There's a high percentage of college people who, after they get done, they're living at their parents' house. You know? And if you have to do that, there's no shame in that. But don't stay there. Okay? Don't be lazy. Get out and you got to do something. You got to take a step of faith. You got to walk. Okay? So, I was there and I was like, yo, it's now or never. So what I did, I'm going to tell you exactly what I did. Okay? You can follow this plan or you cannot. I wanted to go. I took a spec trip. I went out there, barely had any money when I took the spec trip. I stayed at one of the Hollywood hostels. All right? It was called Hollywood Hostel. Hostel, you can find it Hostel USA, I believe, in Hollywood. There's 2 hostels, and I stayed at both of them. And I went there. I just checked out the metro system. I checked around Hollywood. I just literally just went around the city. Literally. Just was like a tourist. That's where I went. Just kind of get a vibe of it. Really, it was to kind of decrease that fear that I had about moving to the city, getting acclimated. Actually, the funny thing is I submitted for something on Craigslist. I started looking on Craigslist for jobs before I even got there. I found something about an agent audition, so I went there. That was kind of my excuse. I went there and had like a little audition, like in my first week, just to get out there, just to get a taste of being in front of an agent. So I did that, and went okay. It didn't go through for me, but I just did that, and I was there for like 4 or 5 days. And then after I was there for 4 or 5 days, I came back. I was like, okay, I can do this. But I don't believe, honestly, it wasn't until almost 6 months to a year later that I actually made that plunge. And what caused me to make that plunge? The best way to move to Los Angeles is just to book your one-way ticket. Now, it is ideal if you do have some money saved up that can keep you, sorry. So, this is a real video. Man, allergies. But if you do have some money saved up, that's ideal. But I'm going to tell you how much money I had saved up. After I bought my ticket, no joke, I used some of that money from my commercials that I got. I paid off credit cards. If you have the opportunity to do that, please. Just trust me. Just pay off some debt if you have a chance to do that. I'm not saying you got to be completely debt-free. I still have school loans that I'm paying off, so don't worry about it. I did that. I bought my ticket for $181 for Virgin Airlines. I love Virgin. It's like a club. Went in there. They had music playing. I got on the plane. They had the little purple lights. Had the TVs in the front. I was riding in style like, yo, Hollywood, here I come. So I got on there. It's $181 for that ticket one way. After I booked that, I had about $500 to my name. No joke. No place to stay. No friends. Barely any money. And no job. Most people would probably freak out.
Seriously, they would probably freak out if they did that. But here's a story I'm going to tell you. I knew I had to do something when I was back in Texas. You ever heard the story about the general? The general and his men were on a ship. Lots of warriors on this ship. They're going to storm the beach to take over this other army that was there. So they get there. They just get on the beach. The waters are just raging back and forth. And they finally get on the beach. All the men come down, and they're on the shore, and they're all getting in formation. And the general walks in front of them, pacing back and forth as they sit there waiting for the direction. But as they look over and they see the army in front of them that they're about to face, they realize something. This army is 10 times bigger than they are. And they heard stories of this army. And they're outnumbered 10-1. And the general can see the fear in his men's eyes. He can see the fear. So he looks to one of his commanders, and he tells him to burn the ships. The commander looks back at the general and says, "What? Burn the ships." Why? He says, "Either we win and defeat this army, or we die, but we're not going back." You want to know how to move to Los Angeles? Burn the ships. Buy your one-way ticket. Keep your gaze directly before you, because there's no turning back. That's it. Why do most people, 100,000 people a year, come here and then leave within the first couple of months? They didn't burn the ships. They kept that option open. I heard this from Will Smith. I believe it's from him. The best way to succeed is just to have a plan A. If you have a plan B, you already plan on failing. You already plan on failing. You already plan on your plan A not working. Have your plan A. That's it. My plan A and only plan was, I'm going to make it in this city. I'm going to survive. I'm going to live in this city. I'm going to audition in this city. I'm going to do exactly what I came here to do, which I studied in college. I'm going to do exactly what I've always wanted to do since I was a kid. I'm going to make it happen. That's it, period. That's what I'm going to do. All right? So at least I know on my deathbed, one of the things I said I wanted to do, I did. I know I did. And I can have peace with that. Burn your ships. One-way ticket. I've met many people who've done the same thing, and they've survived in the city because they decided, they made a decision to burn the ships. That was it. You have to make that decision. You will not have perfect circumstances. You will face trials. You will have hardships. You will have great times. You will meet great friends. Okay? But you got to burn the ships. You got to make a decision. You have to make a decision. All right? So, a few more tips. I'll make this video really short. I'm already going 11 minutes. Thank you guys so much. If you're still paying attention and you're here with me. Where did I stay? Okay, I stayed at hostels. All right? They allowed me to stay at hostels because I had an outside ID. If you have a California ID, they won't allow you to stay. So I stayed in hostels for a couple of weeks, 2 to 3 weeks. Go to Hostel USA. I stayed off one off of close to Hollywood and Western. That one. Then I stayed off one close to Cahuenga in Hollywood, I believe. I think it was Cahuenga in Hollywood Boulevard, somewhere around there. I stayed there for a couple of weeks. Then I stayed in this house. I found this ad on Craigslist. They said $495 month to month. No deposit. That's a lot of people are trying to get you on deposit, especially if you're trying to get an apartment. Goodness gracious. One of the apartments I got, it's a $900 studio. And they wanted $900,000 deposit, so I dropped like $2,000 just to get in the spot later on. This was when I first got there, but this is later on, like a year later, a year or two later. But anyways, the Craigslist ad, I found that. It's like a month-to-month spot. If you can, find some people to room with. Find a month-to-month spot. If you have to hostel up, stay in hotels, do that for a couple of weeks. And you have to just be at it, submitting and trying to find a place to stay. So I did that, stayed in a house full of, first house was like 10 to 15 people off Fairfax Avenue close to West Hollywood. That was the first place I stayed at as far as the housing. That was cool. Wasn't too bad. People I didn't know. The manager was cool. We literally had bunk beds. A lot of artists, a lot of people, making it out there. It was like 4 or 5 people. It was chill. It was okay. Can't complain about that. Then I moved to the other side, Hollywood and Western, north of Hollywood Boulevard, close to Griffith Park, in a house. It's 15 to 20 people in there. A little bit more chaotic, but it was still cool at the same time. I felt like it was real world Los Angeles. That's what it should have been. There's cool moments of late nights and you're eating with 15 people. They're all artists and singers and actors and dancers, and you're all there for a common goal. So that was really cool, and it felt like a family, to be honest with you. But after a while, it's just like, okay, now it's time to branch out on myself, which I did. Ended up meeting a buddy there. We ended up getting an apartment, sharing a studio apartment in Hollywood, which was the $900 a month one. So if you can do that, do that. The thing is, where there is a will, there is a way. My grandmother always used to say, where there is a will, there is a way. You may have to have, some people have it, good. They might have a friend here, they just come move in with their friend. Some people have family, move with your family. But if you don't have anything like I did, don't get discouraged. This video is for you, that you can do this. If this is your dream, if you want to move to Hollywood, if you want to move to LA, if you want to make it, if this is your dream, you can do it. I came here with little to nothing, and made it happen. So if I can do this, trust me, you can do it too. I had no connections, no nothing, barely any money. All right, so this is just to inspire you, to empower you, to just let you know that you can do this. You don't have to have all your ducks in a row. It would help if you had some, but if you don't, you can still do this. You really, really can. But you have to burn your ships. You can't be looking back, all right? You can't move forward if you look in the rearview mirror. It's impossible. You must continue to look forward. And this is, I feel like for life in general, you must move forward and be focused, okay? Now for work, well, what'd you do for work? Okay, let's see. I think I had like 15, 20 jobs here, but that was a problem because I came here to do entertainment, to act. And I was working jobs. I worked at Universal Studios for a little bit. I worked as a telemarketer. Guys, if you don't want to, I worked as a telemarketer for Disney Concert Hall. Basically, I would call people early in the morning. A lot of people, mostly old folks, tell them about to go see Gustavo Dudamel in concert. Or I worked at Universal Studios, selling hot dogs and churros. Doing that. So very humbling. Or I was outside working 12 to 14-hour days, raising money for DARE, to donate money for the DARE organization. And really, it was raising money, but also it was giving me commissions too, off of that, off my salary base. So that doesn't sound like fun, does it? Honestly, because it wasn't. Especially when you came here to do a certain goal, when you came here to act, or you came here to dance, you came here to sing, or you came here for something different. You got to do something different. So guys, the link below, $500 in a duffel bag. Okay, where'd the link come from? $500 in a duffel bag. That's literally what I had when I moved here. You have to find a way, especially I'm speaking to the artists, but honestly, not even just the artists. If you want to find a way where you don't want to have to hunt for jobs, because let me tell you something. If you think you're just going to come here and get a server job or a waiter job right off the bat, you're in for another story. I'm not saying it can't happen, but most likely it won't. That is like one of the most highest demand jobs here. Bartenders and waiters. Because why? Because most actors, dancers, singers, that's what they've been told. That's what you have to do, is just wait tables. So everybody, it's like an audition to wait tables to be a bartender. All right, and they can be so picky because there's such a high demand, I guess, for waiters. I mean, not high demand for waiters, but high demand for waiters wanting the jobs, basically, for people wanting the waiter job. So they could be absolutely picky. It's like an audition. They're going to base it off, obviously. I've seen ads say you must have 5 to 7 years of fine dining serving experience. I feel like it's for a corporate job or something. I mean, it's only waiting tables. Like you have to have extreme experience, and then they're going to look what you look like and everything else and all that. I'm just being honest with you before you come on here. You think you're just going to get some waiter or some server job like that. It's not going to come easy. It really will not. So you've got to find another way. Like I said, I've had multiple jobs. I used to work at Hertz in Hollywood doing car rental sales. I did that for a while. All these were like hustle gigs, trying to get my money out, But after a while, my grandmother told me something. She said, Travoy, what are you doing? I said, I'm working at Hertz, doing rental car sales. Is that what you came there to do? I was like, no. She's like, if you're going to do rental car sales, you could have just stayed in Texas. Do what you came there to do. A day later, I quit that job. And you might think that's foolish, but it's just like, she's right. Quit that job, and then started working for a catering company. And after that, I got booked some commercial stuff. Right? What did you come here to do? when you come here, you got to be focused. Don't just come here and start getting caught up surviving. One guy told me that. He said he's been here 15 years. He said, Travoy, let me tell you something, and I'm going to pass this on to you. Don't get so caught up in surviving that you forget what you came here for. All right? So you've got to find a way. If you're auditioning, you've got to find a way. There's got to be a way where you can earn the money that you want to earn, but have the flexibility and the time to, if you want to go back home and visit your family, you can. If you want to go to an audition, you can. At any drop of the dime, you can do that. If you want to enjoy yourself, which you should, seriously, if not, you'll lose it mentally, you should. So how do you do that? The link below.
All right, that was it. So how do you feel right now? Are you ready to take that plunge? Are you ready to do something that's outside your comfort zone and get a different result? I hope so, guys, and I really appreciate you for finishing the entire video and watching it. I know for me, that was one of the biggest decisions of my life. Basically, it just expanded my paradigm, expanded possibilities. I just realized that, there's so much that's possible in this life if you're willing to do what others won't do. All right. So I ended at that. I hope you have a fantastic day. I hope you feel absolutely inspired today to continuously to take action in your life, and anything is possible. Make sure to subscribe and follow me below as well. I have my new blog up where it's going to be just a lot of value, inspiring people and taking you along my journey where I'm going, and helping others as well, most importantly, like yourself, to achieve the goals that you want in your life. Have a fantastic day. Take action. Be great. Prosperity and love. Love and light, my friends. Peace.